Hey guys, Peter here to do an album review. Today I'm here to tell you all about the debut record from Ivy Crown Echo, out October 25th on Long Branch Records. The album has 9 tracks and is 32 minutes in length. For those of you that don't know, not aware, don't know much about the band, this is an all-female quartet from Denmark and they play melodic metalcore. Now, the moment I sat down to listen to this record, I found this album to be very interesting. It caught me by surprise. I wasn't expecting this kind of sound, this style, this approach. And coming from a debut album, this is a very polished, well-crafted record. The album really feels, as far as the structure is concerned, it really feels like it has an upwards movement that starts with the first track, but then it dips towards the middle of the record, picks up back in intensity almost immediately, and then it feels very melancholic towards the last track of the album. So from a structural perspective, that was very interesting that they went with this arrangement. Normally you have bands that start off with this climbing effect, they dip towards the middle with a more melodic, more stripped down, more methodic track, and then the intensity picks up to take you all the way back to the end of the record. Or sometimes there's an abrupt dip and then that intensity never comes back up again. It stays at that lower intensity level for the rest of the record. This one it's kind of different because it does have that dip towards the middle, which I was kind of expecting that. It's kind of hard to keep that intensity that the album has at the beginning to last all the way throughout. So I was expecting for them to include a song that's a little bit more methodic, that has a little bit more of a slower approach to it towards the middle to allow the listener to kind of catch their breath and then re-engage themselves with the rest of the record. What I was not expecting was for them to close the record on a very similar note. That to me is where the surprise lies as far as the overall structure of the record. When you look at the individual songs, the structure is very similar from song to song. It doesn't there's a few changes here and there. There's a few dynamical changes from track to track, but overall there's really no left turns. There's no unexpected things coming at you. There's nothing really outside the box when you look at the individual structure of each single song. They follow a very linear path. You after 2 or 3 songs, you start to understand how they put their songs together, so you start to understand what to expect from the next track. The things that they tend to change is not necessarily the structure, but rather the components that go into making the song. Either be the vocals with the addition of male harsh vocals, or the melody of the guitars, or including a little bit of a synthesizer keyboard melody. So those are the things that will change from song to song, but the overall structure and feel pretty much remains the same on every single track with a few slight changes. Now vocally, you're getting about 95% clean vocals from Maria, the lead singer, and then you get a few guest vocalists that really introduce harsh vocals into the picture, male harsh vocals into the picture. That adds, in my opinion, a little bit of vocal diversity to the record. She uses it's almost like sprinkles of harsh vocals. She doesn't use harsh vocals almost on any song. There's a few exceptions. Most of the harsh vocals, 99.9% of the harsh vocals are coming from guest vocalists. So you're going to get a lot of clean vocals. But the changes, the addition of those vocalists, those changes in direction as far as vocals are concerned, really gives the album a little bit more diversity, gives the album a little bit more volume, it gives it a little bit more heaviness, and that allows them to really mix tracks really well. Mix tracks where they have those guest vocalists and then include tracks in between them that is just Maria on vocals. So that allows the record to feel like very diverse in sound, to have a little bit of a better flow and allow the songs to flow better between them. I honestly could have lived without the male harsh vocals, but I do feel that including them does give the record a different dimension. But this is not to take anything away from Maria's vocals. Actually, some of my favorite songs, most of my favorite songs on the record, do not include male harsh vocals. It's just her voice, because she has a magnificent voice that really carries a beautiful melody and really enhances the melody that's coming from the guitars. Now, musically, the album is super melodic. The melody is so magnetizing that it just really comes out of each single song. It just becomes everything about the track. The fact that the album is very melodic, not necessarily very heavy or heavy driven, but more melodic driven, allows the bass to have a very predominant role throughout the album. I love the fact that they allow the bass to really peek its head, to come across on a lot of tracks a lot more significant than what you would expect. But the level of melody that the overall record has allows the bass to become a very important play a very important role within the songs. It allows to give a little bit of a lower volume, a little bit of thickness, a little bit of heaviness. So I really like that because it gives some of the songs almost a little bit of a punk rock vibe. And I really like that because it adds to that melody that the tracks overall have. So the two combined together with Maria's clean vocals, you have a real thick wall of sound. You have a lot of different components, a lot of moving pieces that allows the songs to have a lot of life, to have a lot of dynamic within themselves. This is, in my opinion, a great album, an album that really allows the band to push forward. And in my mind, it's going to allow a lot of people to gravitate towards this band. I think they're going to open a lot of eyes. People are going to start paying attention to them because this is a very well crafted, very well put together record that sounds absolutely magnificent on every single song. Regardless of what the mood of the track is, regardless of whose vocals are on the track or what style of vocals are on the track, every song is packed with melody. So if you're a fan of melodic tracks, melodic metal, this album is going to resonate with you. Even if you're a fan of metal bands that don't employ harsh vocals, the amount of harsh vocals on the album is not really significant enough to really, move you away from this record. So I think this album will appeal to a wide variety of fans. It will appeal to fans that like harsh vocals, will appeal to fans that like clean vocals, fans of metalcore, fans of melodic metal. So I think this is an album that is so well-rounded that it's just going to find a home with a lot of different people. Now, as far as songs are concerned, I want to start with Run. Great opening melody, quickly increases in intensity. The vocals come in and you see a blend of melancholy and intensity from the music, not necessarily from the vocals, but you really see this is a song that really blends those two components really well. A song that builds towards the chorus. Great chorus with some vocal layers in the chorus that really enhance the melody and the overall hookiness that the chorus has. The song follows a very simple structure, verses, chorus, up and down feel, more melodic, more intense. That's the overall wave of sound that you're going to get from this track. Maria adds a little bit of harsh vocals after the second chorus, just really a scream, almost like an outburst. That's about it, but it adds so much intensity. You're not expecting it, and when it comes at you, it elevates the track. It just gives intensity to the song. But the chorus is really the heartbeat of this song. The chorus is really what everything gravitates around the chorus of this track. The next song I'm going to tell you guys about is It's a Hell. This is my favorite song on the record. I absolutely love the melody that this song has. I love the sound that it has. It has a very slow build-up until it explodes within the chorus. One of the best choruses on the record. One of the more hooky chorus. One of the one that's better crafted with really a good combination of melody from the instruments and melody from her voice. So this is my favorite track, my favorite chorus on the whole album. Really good mixture of those components. A song that has an upwards movement all the way throughout. It starts in the verse and then it culminates in the chorus. So it has this climbing feel. It gets resetted after each chorus. I really like that approach. I really like that feel. Then there's a drop after the second chorus into almost a sludgy sound that just feels like it really drags, and that allows the song to then afterwards pick up an intensity and really gain this forward momentum and then close off with a chorus. Like I said, my favorite song, not only because of the melody that it has, but the vocal delivery, the vocal tone on this track is absolutely magnetizing. And then when you put that into the chorus and how melodic the chorus is, it immediately becomes a fan favorite in my opinion. Last but not least, Bad Dream. I wanted to pick a song that had some male harsh vocals, and I think this one is very unique because it almost doesn't feel like the cameo is by Kadeem France, and you almost don't feel like it's a cameo. You feel like it's his song with Maria coming in on guest vocals instead of the other way around. He has a very predominant role in this song. He sings the harsh vocals throughout the verses, with Maria coming in more in the chorus and then towards the later stages of the track. It really creates a song that's very energetic, that's very aggressive from the get-go. Whenever she comes in, the intensity drops because of the clean vocals just allow the song to just really drop a little bit in intensity. And then there's almost a pop bridge towards the later stages of the song that just feels completely out of place in the track because the track is so intense, it's so aggressive up to that point that you're just not expecting the song to just completely turn on its head and become almost a stripped down pop song at that point until you start to feel like it's picking up on intensity again. This is a song that, in my opinion, towards the later stages, her voice dictates the vocals, the way she delivers the vocals. So her overall voice and vocals towards the end of the song really dictate the tempo and the movement of the song, not the other way around. It's not the song that dictates where she goes, she's dictating where the song goes and what kind of vibe and feel and atmosphere and mood you're going to get from the later stages of this track. Alright guys, this is it. This is Ivy Crown. Echo, October 25th is the release date on Long Branch Records. Let me know your thoughts on the band, on the singles. Use the comment section below. As always, I'll be reading those and getting back to you. Take care, guys.